Well, there is one way to describe this next cake. It is happy. It is so fun. It is light.
It's sweet.
It is. It could be great for a bridal shower or a baby shower.
Absolutely, and you could change the colors on it and use it for something else. When you roll out fondant, you want to make sure that you lift and turn every time you roll it out. I've got this rolling pin that actually has the markers. You want it like 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch.
Well, while you're rolling it, I'm going to tell people that fondant comes in a lot of different colors, and it's pre-colored, and it truly is. Look how pliable that is.
It's like modeling clay.
Don't be scared of it. And it comes in the bright, the primaries, the pastel, the neons, and natural. So if you want to do some faces or a natural cake. So.
And you can use any type of cookie cutters. You can see this is a graduated cookie cutter set, and I'm just going to cut out one little heart here. And you can lift it up like that. I like to use my spatula a lot. And what you want to do is make these ahead of time, you know, a couple of hours or a day ahead of time, because you want them to dry like that.
So they can set up, and they can, and those are going to go on your wands.
We're going to put them on the wire rack, and you can see I've curved that wire, that actually gives you a little bit more of a surface that it's sticking to. The other thing, because you're going to be bringing it down like that, you're basically attaching it upside down.
And now you attach it with...
I've got some melted candy in here, and I'm just going to put a little bit down.
Like the confectionery candy?
Yeah, the confectionery candy. You could use royal icing if you wanted to. You could dilute your fondant and make fondant adhesive, which is equal amounts of your fondant and your water.
And so you just put some candy down, put the wire on it, and then added more candy, just so it would
Because you're not going to really see it from the front. And you can see with that wire, as I'm flipping it, you can see from that wire that it's actually giving you 2 places to adhere.
Oh, right, with the
And you're going to bend it. So you just want to make sure you cover it over.
And just
you're not going to see it at all.
An hour or so,
yeah,
let it set up.
and let it set up. Now these, we've already dried. And then you can see you can put as many as you want. I think they've got 12 or 14 on here.
Floral tape?
And then you can use floral tape. But you know, you actually could use any tape you have in the house, because you're going to put it inside of a dowel rod, so nobody's actually going to see this portion. And then you just crook each one so that whatever the front presentation side of your cake is, you see that.
Well, it's nice because it gives new dimension and movement to the top of the cake.
And you can twist them around so that they fit however you want. Okay, now let's do our panels for the side of the cake.
Now these are the squares. Now how do you measure that out to
Well,
know?
you could use a ruler if you want, but I actually have this mat that has 1-inch segments. So I'm going to want about 3 1/4 inches, and then I'm going to do 3 inches. Now this is for a 6-inch cake.
Right, or an 8-inch cake that you can do.
But if you're doing it for a different size cake, you're going to have to refigure how much you're actually going to need.
Right, because you want all your panels to match up.
So
when they come
I've got 3 1/4 by 3.
And with
I'm going to go ahead and lift it up.
You do
and I'm
have
going
to
tuck
work
my
with
little,
it once you open it up.
Yeah, because it will dry out. It doesn't matter too much with this if it dries out. We're going to do, oh, there's my heart. So we're going to put our heart right in the middle of it. And you could also use these hearts, you know, for part of your accent pieces if you wanted to. And then to give it some even additional dimension, I've got a tip number 12. And on the pieces that I have left over, I'm going to make the little dots.
So you're just making little dots. And now, to attach the dots to the fondant, do you use water? Or
Yep.
You do.
Water and a brush.
And now, are these tone on tone?
And you can see if it sticks, you can use a toothpick, you can use the other side of your brush.
The yellow dot on the yellow fondant, the pink dot on the pink fondant.
But you don't have to do it that way if you don't want to. Just a tiny amount of water and pat it down. If you get too much water on, what will happen is your fondant will shine. And I actually have had that happen, so then I've just put water all over it so it all shines.
So just enough, and this is still soft enough.
This is still soft.
It's going to move.
I'm going to kind of pat it in there. Then we'll take this over here.
And you want to work with the panels while they are soft, right? To
yeah,
adhere
because
to
they're
the
going to be
buttercream.
they're going to be going around the sides. Now another way, if you're doing like 6 inches, I've just taken a circle and I've divided it into thirds, so I know where my panel's going to go.
You could
also
see the folds in that. I don't think you see that.
So, but you could also do that, like if you're going to do something where you're doing eighths, or if you're doing a square. You know, you're going to have to, you know, figure out what size
and we mentioned
they should be.
This is buttercream.
This is buttercream, and you could mark it with a toothpick, so you know exactly where your panel's going to go. And then just go all the way around and, you know, mark every section. But I'm just going to put this right here, and our buttercream.
And the nice part is the buttercream shows through the heart. So if you have the white buttercream or
and I'm
whatever
just going
color
to touch that in there because my buttercream has crusted over just a little bit. But you can see I'm not really touching it, but I'm tucking it in there.
Right, if we can spin it this way,
spin
just
it
like
around.
so everybody can see
And
that.
so you can see how it fits on there, and then you just keep putting your different colors all the way around. And if you've measured correctly into your 6th, everything will fit perfectly.
Well, see, it is that easy. It looks very technical on here, but it is easy.
And then we're going to put this inside, but first I wanted to show you, I've got a plastic dowel rod here, and you can cut this either with a knife or if you have a pipe cutting tool, you want to make sure you sanitize it with a bleach and water. So you measure about 6 inches and push it down into your cake so that it's very stable.
You just want it to
hold.
stand up a little bit
You
above
want it to
your
stand up
cake
so you
lid.
have height so your flowers can, your hearts can flow over and give you some nice reach.
And you just stand it down in the middle.
Stick down in the middle. And then you can rearrange them, again, depending on the presentation that you're actually going to be showing.
Okay, and they just bend. I mean, they bend pretty easily.
Now, I wanted to also tell you, if you wanted to do 2 tiers, we just did 1 tier because this is basically love is in the air, so, you're not going to want 2 tiers of cake. But if you wanted to make this for a baby shower, if you wanted to do 3 tiers and make it for a wedding, you actually could. And what you would do is take like the 6-inch circle, which is the size of your cake that's going to go on top. On your larger layer, you just put that right in the middle, kind of marking where the 6-inch layer is going to sit. Okay? Then you're going to put dowel rods in it because you want it to be structurally sound so it doesn't sink in your cake. So you would come along like this and measure and then just mark
Like
here.
with your ink pen?
Yeah, with
where
your
it would
ink
go.
pen where it would go. I'm good with my left hand, but I'm not that good. And then you would just actually cut that right there and lift this cake circle back off and then push in 4 to 6 dowel rods for a 6-inch cake.
And that's just going to stabilize it so it holds the weight of
It
the
holds
other
the weight
2
of
layers.
the layer that's going to go on top. And then you would just put this cake layer on top of that one on a 6-inch cake circle. We have this on a larger cake circle because we're going to serve it like that. But that's how you do stacked construction.
Okay. Do you leave the cake circles in?
Yes, you leave your cake on your cake circle, but you're just taking a blank one to put down there to mark it. This would already be sitting on another cake circle that's the same size. So you just put it down, so that way you don't see the cake circle out there. See, if we put this on there, you'd see the cake circle out to there, so you want it the same size.
You want it the same size. Well, if you want to rekindle your romance, this is a great cake for